have a saying, like, Uguti, good men aren't kept, they stay. Yeah, that's not to say that they stay for every bit of nonsense.
Episode. Good men aren't kept.
Yes,
they stay. Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of The Conversation Capital. As always, it is myself, Ursula Mariani, and the voice of reason. Can I say it now?
What?
What I said when you shoot your episode? Because somebody's going to be on camera later. I couldn't hold it for your episode. Smata Sanki.
Hey, I had to pass me and
I saw you through the window. Bride. What kind of bride? How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome.
I'm happy we're in spring.
Oh, me too.
Like,
this is our birthday month.
Yes! I used to think I'm a winter girl, which I am. Ne? But the coats, the jerseys, I'm tired.
Yeah,
It's a lot more effort getting dressed. Let me say for me, because I like dresses. So knowing I have a single item to put on is so nice.
Bonga, what is a winter girl?
A winter girl is girls who prefer winter.
Why? Like, explain.
The fashion is really nice.
There was a TikTok that went around this year where somebody was like, Igupi fashion man, Kipani fashion. Did you see it? This girl was freezing.
Yes.
It's like Kipani fashion.
And people say they like winter. But I think that winter is just, there's no insect. Well, there are insects, but
guys, anybody who knows me knows Kemutili crop top. So I absolutely, I
you know what? I can't take the effort anymore. Now that with the baby, this winter was quite different. It has too many layers. Like I cannot. So I used to love it. I think I still love it, but for this year, it's not the season I wanted. I couldn't wait to have a season, dresses, out and about. Not that I'm out and about, but it just gives me that feeling. I'm glad we're in spring now. And
I'm also happy.
Yeah, so I'm glad. So now we are starting with the comments on Dr. Peter's episode. It had to do with pregnancy. I don't remember the exact title. Postpartum, yes. And this is a comment from our TikTok page. Peladi Mukoni says, I didn't know I was a carrier of a rare disease until I gave birth to a child who had a rare disease. She got it from me.
Piladi, first of all, why did I say half?
Hey, what is the rare disease?
Huh?
You know what this comment reminded me of? What Dr. Peter said. Some things are always there, but pregnancy,
just
takes
comes
them out,
through.
exposes.
Yes, exposes
some of them.
Yeah, more diabetes, more hypertension. Ish.
I have to laugh at this comment. I'm not going to say the person's name, but the person says, drink fish oil vitamins.
Can I go on about to rare disease?
Fish oil vitamins ke omega ne?
Yeah. Mara say, you know.
No, Mara. We're only laughing at this vitamin thing, guys, because it's a rare disease thing. But I mean,
and also
pregnancy
isn't the standard in pregnancy vitamins?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, it is, right?
Well, some people, interestingly, there are people who are anti-vitamins, anti-this, anti-that. Yes, anti-vaccines, anti-this. Yeah, so, but hey, it's the standard.
No, but pregnancy, I would give my baby the best.
But then they'll say to you, is that the best?
True. I remember I knew somebody who, like, you know, obviously had to quit smoking and whatever.
Yeah.
So when somebody was done smoking, like at a braai, she firstly stand closest to the person that was smoking to try to get like a whiff, because she was really such a smoker. And then after that, like when they dropped the stompy, just a little bit of nicotine. It was so funny.
And I can't remember. I mean, we're not punting. This is a general comment. We're not punting toxic things. But I remember during my pregnancy, because I used to love Habli and all of that, but of course I left it during my pregnancy. But I remember reading stuff that were like, maybe it's better for you to stay on it than the shock of your body going off of cigarettes. Yes. I can't remember. But guys, don't smoke.
Hi, don't smoke, guys.
During your pregnancy. Don't do it. And then CEO Lee on the TikTok on the same episode says, pregnancy damaged my eyesight. Pregnancy is not pap and place. Then heaven and let's
Can
talk
I just
about
say
pap
all
and
the
place.
TikTok comments? Like, guys, go check them out. Wild stories.
Yes, eyesight damaged my eyesight.
Okay, all the pilot. Not if you're a pilot, you need 20/20 vision to be a pilot. Imagine if you're a pilot, you fell pregnant, then next thing your eyesight is gone. Sure. Or you're a dentist who needs like fine detail eyesight. Next thing, gizi.
Yo, that would be an interesting labor case actually. Like now what must happen? It was caused by something I can't control. And I came in fine.
Right?
Yeah. That would be actually interesting to find out. But yeah, I mean, I've heard women who say their teeth have gotten worse. I've never had good teeth, so I don't know what has gone worse.
What do you mean, like they're sensitive? What do you mean?
I don't know. They fall out.
Do your teeth fall out?
I don't. Some people say their teeth are falling out.
Oh, I thought you were saying your teeth are weak and they fall out.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No,
I got afraid. I'm like, you
no,
look like
Guma, I'm just saying. I don't know.
You don't. Yes.
I actually don't know what my pregnancy affected other than my mental health. But
did you struggle with your mental health?
Oh, I did.
Sure, but you carry things very well. Because every time I saw you, and I see you like at least once a month.
Yeah, I know. I did. My boyfriend Shem, poor guy. Shem. Shem. Guys, if your partner is present, Shem, they have to take a lot of, not have to, because some women it doesn't, but I was a mess during my pregnancy. I was a mess. And then Sioli goes on to say, then have an unsupported partner on top of that. You know, when it comes to an unsupportive partner thing, I know there's the blatant cases of goes away. I mean, we've had a person who was left while pregnant on this show, right? But then I wonder, do men, Shem, do they know? I mean, pregnancy is new for all of us. Maybe if it's your first child, but do they even know how to be present during that time?
You're right here. Do you feel like you knew how to be present for your partner?
I would definitely not speak for all men. Because I would say a lot of men definitely don't. In fact, in all honesty, speaking for myself, I had no idea what it means to be there for a pregnant woman. And it's for multiple reasons. I mean, and it's definitely, it might sound like I'm making excuses for men. I remember we were once on a talk show, and we were having a conversation when the whole men are trash thing was still popular. So we're having a conversation around that. I was trying to make the point of Uguti that just some things that men are not taught. And this girl was making the point that men are grown-ups. Like, you're not a child anymore, right? And which I understand. There's an extent to which if you are not taught something, the older you get, we expect you to go and find information, go Google, make the effort to learn. If you truly care about something, you'll make the effort to learn. But there are just some things, guys, that are best taught within the context of whatever, wherever you grew up. You understand what I mean?
It's like somebody who has to unlearn racism versus somebody who was never taught it to begin with.
That's a very good point.
That's a very good point. You were never taught to look at people like that to begin with. Unlike unlearning it. Yes.
So I'd say, to answer that question, for one, I do believe there are many men who honestly do want to be there, but they have no idea because there's no class for this thing. A lot of churches don't give classes specifically for what men should do, what should they expect, what's their role during this time, how are you present for a woman if she experiences, let alone that we needed to get a Dr. Pitswe to cover these topics. Imagine then someone just at church saying gune depression, gune endometriosis. So all of these things, to be quite honest, we don't have access to them. We don't have access to men who can teach us this, and there are many reasons behind that as to why they don't. But I do feel though that an honest man who truly wants to be there, even if he doesn't know what to do, he'll figure out how to be there.
And I think sadly, because you are in the context at that time, even as the pregnant person, let me speak for myself, you don't feel like being patient enough for them. Like, I need you to have been having these resources to be there for me. So with most relationship things, I don't know, but with most relationship things, I think we have that grace to say, oh, you don't know how my love language, let's learn it. But these are like set 9 months where you have to show me, you have to be there. So there's not like that grace, and he's still learning, and you're home as well. For me, that's why, because some people take on pregnancy and they don't have a lot of demands. Or expectations.
I have a saying, like Uguti, good men aren't kept, they stay. Yeah, that's not to say that they stay for every bit of nonsense.
episode. Good men aren't kept.
Yes,
they stay.
That is so true.
Oh, give it. No, really,
that is so true.
Because we want to stay. You know.
Exactly.
They stay.
And that's very true.
It's a good guy.
Yeah, this is not to condone men being abused and being treated like they are.
Stay.
You understand what I mean? But I truly do believe. Guti,
please don't use that as a soundbite to abuse your baby.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like good men will stay and they will learn and figure out how to make something work.
Yes.
Like if I have to go and watch a podcast, if I have to go read books, men build businesses and businesses are they are the worst.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? And what do? They go and attend classes, they go and read books, they go and meet with other men who have had the experience. So that's what good men do. Just like a good businessman stays with his business and he won't let that ship sink.
Yes.
You understand?
And
Yeah.
see it through, yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, thank you, Given, for that. You can go back to your job.
No, I think I'll
multi-talented king. Anyway, Nompumelelo on TikTok says, not me watching this, pregnant and will be delivering at a public hospital. May God carry me through. Now, the conversation may have scared you if you're pregnant and giving birth at a public hospital, but there were so many positive comments and
43
prayers.
43 people just came through to guys, we argue about this off air. I think TikTok is the most kumbaya place on earth. Everybody is so supportive and so beautiful. Maybe it's our page.
No, it is a certain dynamic, certain side.
Yeah, no, our page, people are just oh, God bless you, don't worry, God's got you, you're gonna be okay, mama. Hey,
so
little chakra hands are coming through with their eyes.
It really depends on the kind of community you're building.
Yeah.
Okay. Unlike Twitter, where drama will find you.
Yes.
We're not even on Twitter.
Yes.
And drama found us. You know what I mean? But with TikTok, I honestly do agree with you. We, not just us, but when I'm generally on TikTok, I don't. The impression you never feel at first glance, there's drama here.
No.
Yeah, you never get that impression.
Even the organic content on Twitter, on TikTok, it flourishes just because of the nature of the people there. The whole thing of people not being scared to show their room.
Exactly.
Or backroom man.
Yes.
Show their backroom, them cuckoo, their what. That environment, it's what
you don't easily find that on Instagram.
No.
I saw on TikTok somebody, I feel like I'm cuckoo high. I don't even need, this whole thing of people decanting things. I decant I'm cuckoo. I decant. It was so cute.
Yes.
It was beautiful. Oh.
So it really has, and you find that because of the TikTok content that's become acceptable, when it gets on other platforms, people are starting to warm up to it as well.
Yeah.
Well, of course, it can go haywire in certain instances,
yes.
But we are finding even on Instagram, people not being worried to show their everyday simple lives.
Yes.
In fact, we find that people are really craving some of that organic.
No, and it was necessary because I think people's mental health was taking a dip with the pretentiousness that was going on social media. Do you get what I'm saying?
It still is.
Yeah. People were just comparing themselves to something that was unrealistic.
That's so true.
I
don't know if I mentioned this, but in varsity, I didn't have Instagram because I liked things and I knew Instagram will make me feel pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for a long time, I did not have Instagram.
No, me too. I bounce between months. Some months I don't have it. Some months I'm there. But I definitely, because I just feel it's good for your mental health to take a step back. Otherwise, you're comparing yourself to an unrealistic standard.
Yeah, it looks so perfect.
Yes. And in the same breath, I get it. I'm not going to go on Instagram, and start crying and talking about my failures. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I cry with my family and friends. That's me.
Exactly.
And if I feel that way, how many more people also feel the same way? So what do? We share our wins. We share our travels. We share our... we don't share the job opportunity we didn't get. We don't share the gig we didn't get. You get what I'm saying?
And just speaking about things that, Given will cut this out if it's not applicable, if you guys didn't see it. But there was a lady who spoke about the fact that she was, she had multi-dating, I don't know. But she was seeing a lot of people before...
Thank you for sending me the link to that.
Yeah, before settling with her partner, right? And then on TikTok, people are like, hey, it got to Twitter. Her files came out.
Yeah.
Her homophobia files. She had a big case at UCT.
That's what I'm saying about, because even our Tabo episode, the woman equality episode that we had, it did the rounds on TikTok first.
Yes.
A year before.
Yes.
I was about to say months
Most
ago.
viewed video to
and
this
it was
day.
it was literally a conversation. People were going in and out, and I think this, but there was nothing like very hurtful and attacking. And it went to Twitter a year later. Boom, 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 boom. I was just like, I had to check on Tabo and be like, are you okay? Like, what is going on? Like, that's the thing with me. The difference in the platforms is wild.
It's
Because I always think it's the same people, but somebody else, I think it was you, Give, who mentioned the different generations. The generation, my 2000 that are on TikTok are more like, and we spoke about this in the last episode.
Yeah.
We talked about, my 2000 are more like aware, socially aware of the situation, the circumstance, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Versus, so yeah, that definitely made me say, there's a difference with these platforms.
No, there definitely is. I'm actually taken aback by what you said about Instagram. Like, it's really interesting, because do we really want a platform where people show where they're crying, where they, like, does it even make sense?
Yeah, it's a
Now
tough
for
one.
me, it's weird. Like, it's not weird. I mean, if you're a vlogger and you happen to be crying that day, I mean, I'd expect to see you cry. That's fine. But like, for Instagram, it's a bit more bite-sized content.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, you took the camera or recorder and then cried.
Yeah, it is
It's
weird.
a bit. I
is
wouldn't
like-
say it's weird, but I guess we kind of get it why some people don't do it.
Yeah.
But
And I also get why, because when you're crying, do you really have time to pick up a phone? But then in the same breath, if you're somebody who's like insistent on people seeing all sides to it, then you would. But that's somebody spoke about it and said the thing with measuring or like constantly like taking in content, you're taking everybody's positives and matching it to your mixed life.
Yes.
Bad and good.
Yeah.
That's the comparison you're doing. The comparison is not then they're mixed versus you're mixed. And it should never be a versus, actually.
Exactly.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your brain isn't automatically remembering to say they do have challenges. I'm just seeing the benefits or the positives
That's exactly the
to their life,
Yeah.
And remembering that we do share. Nobody pauses to document, or people do. But ideally, if I'm crying, guys, I'm not thinking about Instagram.
I think
Exactly.
what I've seen happen, for me, what's normal is that maybe you're reflecting on something, then you get emotional.
Yes.
Then you can let that happen.
Yes.
But maybe it's because we're not vloggers. We don't relate, but yeah.
Yeah, because maybe when you're a vlogger, you're so in the habit of switching on your camera.
Yeah.
Like, I document a lot, though. Even at home. My mom knows, as soon as I ask a question twice, she goes, hey, camera, it's me.
That would annoy me so much.
I'm that person. If I ask if I like the answer first time, I'm like, let me repeat that.
Yeah, I must say, though, I really do think there is a place for a platform like Twitter. I think in the world, there's an extent to which we do need that ratchetness that we see, or savagery that we see on Twitter. And I say it because of this.
Yeah.
Some people do need to be fetched, man, guys. Like, man, some people are like, I'm here.
But who?
Fetch me.
Who doesn't need to be fetched? That's my question. All of us have an element of us that needs to be fetched.
That needs to be fetched.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So which pedestal do we stand? That's my issue.
Yeah.
But
I feel like, and nobody's issues it's like exposing somebody for cheating. It's got that cast the first stone thing first to it, when Jesus writes in the sand and he says he without sin cast the. So for me, Twitter's got this thing where when it's your day where you're down, everybody stands on a podium.
I get what you
everybody
mean.
sins ignores except for
that's
yours
what
on
you're
that
saying.
day.
Okay.
That's how I see it. It's like what? Who are you to do that?
I understand.
You know
why I'm saying that Twitter is such a necessary place, ne? I feel like there are certain injustices that Twitter has been so quick to respond to, and then people have actually received justice as a reward, as a result.
I hear that
Yeah,
part.
and if it wasn't for Twitter doing
I hear
something
that part.
about it,
Even
whether it's racism, whether it's like someone
people
being
very sensitive.
exactly.
Yes.
companies respond like this.
Absolutely. I can't mention the companies that I go to Twitter and I say, guys, what's happening at your whatever, at this branch? What is going on?
Exactly.
And then they're like, oh, we're going to get back to you. And then all of a sudden,
You get things done, Shem.
that is the part where, there has been a big benefit.
It's unfortunate that the climate on Twitter is just we need to find something.
I
We
mean,
need to fetch.
There's a guy. He had an issue with a certain car. His car got stolen at the dealership, and they were giving him the runaround about replacing the car. The next week, the guy had a car after putting it on Twitter.
Yes, there is a certain. Even if you look at all the things that are happening with racism in the States, there's a certain level of justice that is coming about.
And some people would critique
awareness.
it and say, it's just those small victories. But in the big grand scheme of things, we're not in boardrooms making those big impacts. But it goes a long way.
True.
But I do
Very
hear what
true.
you're saying, Giv. There is like a duality to this. Because there is a part where now you feel like you've got a voice. Just through your 160 characters.
Exactly.
You know, but then what if when
Exactly.
that power, that very same power, you use it now to bully somebody?
Exactly.
And it's such a, you need to be
Exactly.
responsible with that because it is power.
Yeah.
Your 160 characters is power. You know, to communicate a message with masses. What
And
are you
it-
going to use it for?
And the unfortunate thing is that with Twitter, there is no council that sits down and decides, okay, this week, guys, this is who deserves to be fetched.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes, research Chile and indeed Kim Kotoy.
Yes, exactly.
Fetch them Kotoy. Hayo.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then on the episode, the power. Oh wow, this episode. Every time we look at the comments, someone will definitely have commented on the episode. And then it's the power of embracing vulnerability as black men with Justice Mukeli. All About Mbasa says, I've been following this channel via TikTok for almost a year. And honestly, I'm so happy I finally decided to watch the YouTube channel. And I think would be lovely to have you guys on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just to start this comment off, all of you that are on TikTok, migrate as well.
Migrate.
Like consumers on TikTok, but also take time to consumers on YouTube as well, because we get that quite a bit. And then another comment says, on healthy masculinity, tears, kisses, and vulnerability. The person Tebo Jose Maseru Mule says, such wholesome content. Oh, wow. On the episode, does load shedding impact the South African economy with Zimasa? Tia Holloway said, loved this episode. The brother had many fine points. What stood out to me the most was that too many in leadership are of a certain age. Get them out. That is the same problem we are facing where I am from. Most old people have old ideas and don't embrace change and technology, and most refuse to make room for younger generation in politics. A while ago, I would have agreed with the age thing, ne? But when I interacted with student politics, young, old, Shem, they're the same. I'm sorry.
Don't you think it's because they're being influenced by the older generation?
How? When you're in varsity?
You're being supported by the bigger branch.
No, but for example, let's say there's an event on campus. Why are there freebies for certain people? There's no need for that. Or why are you getting free entrance? Like, I'm making simple examples.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
But I was very, gobsmacked when I was in student politics, because I'm like, guys, we're in trouble.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
And I mean, no offense to anyone, but let's look at the young politicians that got into parliament after fees must fall. How many of them are we still seeing them on the radar as much as we did then? You know, and they're young. You know, so I mean, there's a truth in the age thing, you know, but not all the time.
I think it's more of a culture thing.
Exactly. Morals, culture, so forth.
Yes.
So many things.
Wasn't it Barack Obama who encouraged African politicians to stop with the corruption?
Yes.
That was so funny. That was so funny. He didn't know what else to say, but just like, Nepisani guys, you know, yeah.
So I mean, I don't think it's to do with age. You can be young and not be astute.
So what are you saying, Bonga? Are you saying that
I mean, you've answered it.
Africans have a culture of corruption? Is that what you're saying?
Not even Africans.
Yeah,
It's
not Africans.
Not Africans.
It exists
There are
within
bad people, there are
certain
good people.
spaces.
I mean, with the recent, the Wapula city of Johannesburg had a lot of change, what in terms of now they have a new mayor, now they have someone else. They were really young people.
Even told me not to eat on camera, Mara, guys. These are so nice. Sorry.
They were young people. I remember there's a lady who got, again, once they got the mayor, I forgot her name. Is it Mpo? Yeah, the lady though, the medical doctor. When she got out of the city of Johannesburg, obviously her administration went out with her. And then there was a young lady who made a YouTube video about just working in governance and how difficult it is to make change because of the various political parties and influence and so forth. So you find that, of course, I don't know a lot of her work, but you find that by just listening to her, I can hear she has a lot of passion for her work. Yes. But there was just a lot of red tape, inability of doing what they needed to do, you know?
Yes.
Because of the status quo. So there are people, young people, old people who do want to make a change, but corruption.
Yes, like you're saying, it just goes back to the morals
of
the
bad people.
The culture. Yeah,
there could be young people that are horrible.
I often wonder though, and I'm not saying Guti, I definitely do agree that Africa has a corruption problem. However, I wonder to what extent are we deceived into thinking that corruption doesn't exist in the West or in the East. You understand what I mean? And perhaps maybe it's because I have heard someone who's a bit more knowledgeable on the subject saying that the problem with and I think we had them here actually, the problem with certain African contexts is how the corruption is happening. Like Uguti, if you could just do it, because I watched this huge documentary that talks about how America, after I think it was World War II, if I remember correctly, like they quickly rose to becoming the superpower of the world, and they controlled how we trade. They came up with rules that serve the West very well, the way they conduct business. Like, you know how here in Africa, whenever you're selling, I'm just making an example, if let's say our trading system were made by Afrikaans people greet each other, firm handshake, look at each other in the eye, that's a person you can do business with. Whereas with us, we show as a sign of respect, when you're dealing with an elder, you look low, you don't look them in the eye, and you know you can do business with this person, but it's just the way that we engage. So imagine how would it look if they set the rules, right, of how we engage in business.
I mean, down to just how we dress.
Exactly.
Just down to dress code, hair.
Exactly.
I mean, you're immediately displaced out of your comfort zone, right? Like there was this girl on Instagram this morning, actually I think Neela someone's an American. She wears Duke, right? And she was looking at this corporate video, basically of corporate culture, where they thought they're just grabbing a random picture on the internet. They used her picture to say this is unprofessional.
Wow.
Don't wear a Duke to work. And then they went on to say if it's for religious reasons, like it's a hijab and whatever, okay, fine, because that was them being politically correct. But what about racially politically correct? Like,
exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What's wrong with the Duke?
So
it's that part where immediately you're trading, you're trading with somebody already from a displaced point of view, because you need to move out of the comfort zone of your culture and your norms and things like that, move into connecting with them. I mean, I always make this example of how in essay, dumelang le kae, ke teng ho kae, ma please show me the aisle that has rice, right? Caucasian, and even actually I'd even say even in other African cultures, it's not such a big deal. You don't have to stop, greet, ask how are you first.
Yes.
Before, literally, and I didn't know what a big deal it was until I started working at a store where I'd see a customer walk up to my fellow colleague that works with me and be like, sorry, please point the TV. Anglalanga now. But it just goes back to that, understanding certain cultures and things, and how much of that do we allow to overtake just the trading part.
Yes.
You must have passed all these markers first, either looked down or looked up, or in the correct way before you can get to the actual trading.
Exactly.
Before you can get to the actual job.
Yeah.
Before you can get into corporate and share your ideas. Were you dressed correctly? Are you articulate? All those barriers first before you can even say, guys, I've got this amazing innovative idea. Listen. Was my speak correct? Was my outfit correct?
And the whole articulation thing, I find that in my early career, I found that it's such an important thing, guys.
It really
It's
is.
sadly so important how you sound.
And how you present
Sadly.
yourself. And how you present yourself.
It could impact the trajectory of your experience at that particular company for a very long time.
Yes, I agree with
And
this.
how many people listen to you, and how many people take you seriously. Anyway. And then on the episode, men will reject women who shoot their shot.
I want to get ready with one. Because somebody said I don't have a riz. Huh? I got all the riz, darling.
Yeah, they weren't talking about you.
Let me tell you something about riz, girl. I got all the riz.
Then why are your shots not? Oh, you don't shoot.
Why are your shots not landing?
No, she doesn't
Forget
shoot
the fact that I didn't even know that riz was charisma.
Actually, that really got me thinking, hey? Like, it really got me thinking, because it made me want. I hear this thing of women saying that guys don't like them shooting their shot, which me personally, I don't believe that it's as many guys as girls make it seem. What I think is the issue is girls shoot their shot once or twice, and then they get this traumatizing response, and they're done. Packing my bags. You don't question your riz, guys. Me, I know a new word now. I'm gonna use it talking.
Guys, I am with the most uncool people.
And Bonga had to teach us.
Bonga had
in
to
the
teach
group,
us
we were
what's
both like,
riz.
Give us what's riz. I'm like, I was also wondering what's riz. And then she's like,
I didn't want to be the first one to ask.
Yeah, it's charisma.
Freya, it's about Freya. How I learned about it, there's a guy on TikTok who's known for Riz. He's called Riz Master. Like, how Freya Loena Eshla. I forgot his name, but he's good with, he has Riz. What did I want to say? Also given, I think why my shots have never failed. It's not really a Riz thing. I think, and if people don't speak about this a lot. I mean, we've had this conversation casually. But if a guy likes you, you like 2 pictures of his, he'll be in your DM.
Yes.
Because he likes you.
Yes, exactly.
So
exactly.
it's likely you're shooting a shot at someone who already doesn't like you. You know? For me, it's that thing like we always say about, this is a bit touchy, but we always say about certain things, okay, would you have seen it as harassment if it's someone who liked you? I mean, should I make a better, much more politically correct example?
I understand
Do you get
exactly
me?
what you mean.
Yes. No.
Yes.
I hear what you're saying. Like,
I just don't want to sound like I'm making harassment seem
No. I hear you.
petty.
Because I remember there was a guy who, a popular guy, I just don't want to say his name because when he said this, the comment was in a private context. He basically hit on a lady, and then the lady came forward to say, this guy made working so uncomfortable. Then, he's a Zulu older guy, and he said, Sishela Nini. Like, when do we, because I was asking her out for coffee. Yes, I was interested. When is it? And I heard him.
Yes.
I heard what he was saying, like,
Yeah.
You know,
so a lot
that's
of
a
the
very
time,
good question.
as a girl, so if someone likes you, they'll respond to your lack of riz.
Not that I have lack of riz.
No, but guys, this is something that you must consider. Guti. Guys have to confront whether they have a riz or not all the time.
Yes.
Like, I need to confront that there are certain spaces under which I'm just not confident enough.
Yes.
Then there are spaces where I know my confidence is like up here.
Absolutely, I hear.
You understand what I mean?
hear.
And these are dynamics, unfortunately or fortunately for you, women don't have to confront these things. It's like if you ask 2 or 3 guys out and it doesn't work out, you have the option of let me learn how to bait. Let me rather learn how to bait.
Yes, you've got the option to opt out. I hear what you're saying. Because,
exactly.
like I said, I need to feel I've only ever done it once.
Exactly.
And then I went into that DM, Kandwa, carry you, me,
Together,
Yeah,
future.
the guy are, hey, Butle, my papa. That was in my past life. I'm a better person now with a lot of risk. You know what I mean? And I had the option to opt out, to say, Shelwa,
Never again.
I actually don't have this struggle, and I'm never going to go through this again.
Never again. On that episode, Manzi says women should have high financial requirements for their partners because they carry most of the risk. If you're sexually active, you carry the pregnancy risk. Women die during childbirth. It's a woman's body that's on the line, and that should come with a price. Men who can't afford to badger must not date until they're able to. In the olden days, men couldn't even touch a woman without paying lobola and her family giving a stamp of approval. Nothing has changed. Men still need to pay to access women. I thought the risk thing is quite interesting. You carry the most risk.
Yeah.
That's why you must shoot higher.
Women.
Yes, in terms of the risk of carrying a child.
Yeah. I also heard that.
Sure.
For me, it's not just a physical risk, but also just career risk. You know, I feel like women are the one that, you know, your career takes a backseat for having a child in it. So, Linda, when I read it, but somebody else commented further than that.
And then
they had a back and forth.
Yeah, there was a back and forth.
Did.
Yeah.
And then none there yet. Okay.
Yeah.
If God created women like that, why should men pay the price? Do not be sexually active if you believe such things will occur. And then Manti goes on to say, yes, I will not have sex with poor men. That's my choice with my body. Lots of women who will do it for free. Go find them. Stop fighting those who have set standards. And then Nandi yet says, well, good luck.
Hey, but I heard it. I actually did hear both sides of the back and forth.
I think this one, but I guess it's someone setting standards, saying men who can't afford to better must not date until they are able to.
I understood
in a country where 70% of people your age are not working, not because they don't want to, but because they literally cannot.
But also
but don't you think, guys, in the context of now having children with somebody that can't afford a child, like what are you doing? You know, not necessarily maybe with regards to the love and dating, no, but with somebody who's insistent to have a child, but you don't have the capacity. Do you get what I'm saying? I understood in that I'm not gonna mate with somebody and have a child with somebody that I can see cannot contribute to that, and that's her standard. She's being responsible. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like that you say it's her standard.
It's her standard, yeah.
Look, you know what's the unfortunate thing with that? I think what she is saying, she's saying things haven't changed, right? But what I find funny about people who make that statement is it always depends on how far back you want the so-called not changed to be relevant. How far back do you want to go? You know, there's a thing about a man's role within a family is he puts his life at risk for the family. If you and I are in bed and someone comes knocking somehow, or you hear a sound, you're not going to get out of the bed. Yeah. I'm the one who's going to put my life at risk and go and see. So now let's argue this risk thing. Yeah. Let's argue the risk thing of if you and I are out taking a walk and some guys who are looking dodge start approaching us, which side of the two of us am I supposed to stand? This is within a context where that actually matters.
I hear what you're saying.
If we're out at night.
Yeah. She's talking about the risk of now during pregnancy. But I also carry risk when danger is being approached.
I carry risk.
I'm not going to say
different ways.
Imagine your husband turns over and says, love, someone check.
Like
it never happens.
It literally just depends on what side of the coin you prefer to look at this as. Yeah. And here's another dangerous thing she's not realizing, right? It might be something she's thought to herself, but I would like to introduce it if not. Money bears a lot of power. Money bears. If I am the money person in the relationship, I have way more power than you.
Yeah.
The way more power. There's no debate, no nothing. The person who bears the money in the relationship, the money person, has all the decision and deciding power. All of it. The moment it falls upon me. The second I decide, Ugutwena, you're just not pretty enough. You're not working out enough. The very same money that got me you is the very same money that can just get me out of here to the next person. And just remember that it's those are.
Do you think she meant millionaire, guys? You know, she didn't mean like money.
No, but remember,
she meant
we're also
like
not limiting it to this particular thing.
Oh, we're just speaking generally.
In general,
okay,
yes.
I hear you.
So, and remember, what I'm addressing is the issue of it being a prerequisite. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the danger. Money bears a lot of power. If that's what you accepted me from the basis of me. You know, here's another thing though, which I'm wondering, because I mentioned it in the video, if it's something she thought about. Uguti, what are the standards that you will allow a man to have? If this is what I'm worth, and I'm looking at you, are you okay with the man saying, you're not pretty enough, you don't have enough hips, look at your qualifications, nah, I'm moving to the next? Are you okay with that?
Men do that though.
Yes, vice versa. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm asking if she's okay with it happening. The reason I'm asking is because if we are in agreement, all of us, that a man must not ask out or must not fray unless he has money, if that's the agreement, it sets a standard. It sets a way in which men think. You understand what I mean? And there are many cultural contexts where this is a thing. Where there are men who, within certain contexts, you will get a wife, marry her, make sure that he keeps the fridge full and go play around outside. Because they have told him that as long as you take care of your family, you are respected within this community.
Yes. Ooh, and also for me, the part where when the man loses that income.
Exactly.
What value does he see himself adding? I mean, we just had this chat on the other episode, the other Get Ready With Me.
Yes.
To say when somebody is selling that, and that thing gets taken away from him now. You know, so let's say he loses his income or his business goes down or whatever. What can he still bring to the table? After his selling point was, I have money.
No. Here's what you're also not considering. What if she's barren?
Oh, yes.
Like, guys, this is what the main point I'm trying to make is, if you make it transactional, like, I understand and I agree. I agree with the fact that we do need to, I remember hearing Penwell talk about how maybe we should start looking at this from a context of income rather than whether you have a job or not. Do you have an income? Perhaps that might be the more important question, because times have changed so much that just because you don't have a job doesn't necessarily mean you have an income. Totally different conversation. But what I'm basically getting at is, once we make this transactional, you have to have money then now I need to test, can you actually bear children? What now am I going to spend on you, and you were never taking risks to begin with?
The scary thing for me as you speak about this, you said it earlier, but it's like, okay, I have money, then I don't need to show up in other ways, like the emotional stuff we were talking about, pregnancy support. I have money.
I brought you the money.
Yes. You know, it's like there are so many other facets to a partner.
To be honest, you can only ever see that when you see somebody else being shown up for emotionally.
Yes.
That you're like, there's another type of support that can come from.
Yes.
You know, that's much bigger than. And it just goes back to that, looking at us as transactional things. I mean, Tulu said in the episode, my husband said, I'm not marrying you for kids. I'm marrying you for you. Just to hear that statement, guys. It's the most heartwarming and consoling thing that I am not. It's not what I can bring to the table.
Women can say that?
Yes, I'm being loved for. I even remember there was a teacher that I had, and now looking back, she was actually quite young. But you know, when you're a kid in school, they all look so old.
Yeah.
She was actually quite young, and then before they took out Mahadi, the specific family said, no, but we have to prove that she can bear before we take out Mahadi for her. And she's like itchy and everything. They were like, no, we don't have a problem, but she must show us that she can bear kids.
Are they not within their right though?
Before they take out Mahadi. And then indeed she falls pregnant, and then that's when they take out Mahadi for the girl. And I remember just listening to it, but because I was a kid, I didn't have a big opinion on it. But now retrospectively, then what if she can't have kids? She doesn't deserve to be loved. Then what?
Yeah, so that's the trade-off Gibbs is talking about, because there could be other things that are much more important to you than, is money going to be the only thing?
Exactly.
What happens when all of that?
We talked about it last time, when your face burns as a girl. You know, Bari into me my Bentley or something like that. That's a mouse.
Guys, there are people like it's so. My fear is if we create a world where people think that way. When you mentioned this young boy, when you're saying I don't know if he was in high school or varsity, where he was saying, no, Bonga, this is how women think. You have to have some money. Like, imagine creating a world where young boys feel good. The only way they can be valued is if they can buy airtime. Now take that vice versa. Imagine you as a woman. I'm thinking of a particular woman that I know who's had 7 miscarriages. Like, imagine now you came in here telling me that without my money, you're not willing to make this work. Now, what do I get to say to someone who's in that position? Do you understand what I mean?
Yep.
Guys,
Yeah, no.
it's wild to me how we can have this conversation over and over and over again, because it really is a repetition of that other. But like, it's such a it's a big deal.
It's itching in a lot of people.
Yes. Seeing humans as humans and not a trade-off, and experiencing relationships as not like a trade-off, tit for tat, butter for fat. Guys, that was today's episode. Boom, boom, boom. If I don't take a smile. Guys, that was the episode. Oh yes, today is September.
Yes.
So we are in officially the burr season.
Yes.
September, October, November, December.
From here,
It's the
we
burr
are
season. Yeah, no. Once we start September, because it's my birthday month, I'm just like, well, isn't the year over?
Right?
Any goals that I have not achieved now, get Alabama next year. For now, though, goodbye and God bless. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. We love you so much. Goodbye and God bless.